Hey everybody, Chris here. X-Money has launched internally. We're going to talk about that, plus the latest on Bitcoin and Dogecoin in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And on Thursday evening, we had the annual epic Chris Packs crypto tax live stream. That's right, everything you need to know about crypto taxes. So check that out on my channel. We had a good Q&A session too, and of course following up, if anybody has any other further questions about crypto taxes, you can always leave a comment below in that video or here as well. Don't mind answering. And also join in on the next live stream Friday evening. That's right, Friday we will be covering more of what the trading looks like today, but right now we've got X-Money to look at, plus what's happening with crypto versus the precious metals and the stock market. Let me get into it. Let me show you the charts and the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart, just over 14 cents. We did dip below into the 13s here yesterday and again overnight. So starting to make a little recovery here. But as we zoom out, we do see that we are in the brown box. That's right, we are in the brown box, just touched below it here overnight, as we had touched just below it back on Sunday. But that's all right, a little recovery here coming back up. We've got Bitcoin at 92,000 and it's at the top of its brown box, and ETH is at 3,200 and it is in its own brown box as well. So crypto's kind of stagnant, while at the same time we look at what's happening with, let's look at the S&P 500, right? A new all-time high just about yesterday. So forecast is today will be a new all-time high. The Dow Jones new all-time high was hit yesterday. So that's going on. Gold is racing up toward its new all-time high. Silver has a new all-time high. So what's up with crypto? Why isn't crypto doing that? Well, let's take a look at what's going on. First, because I always cover this, right, is stablecoins. And I've been talking about stablecoins for the last 6 to 8 months, as it just seems to be like that seems to be the direction a lot of these digital transactions is going. It's not cryptocurrency, it's stablecoins. The latest, YouTube to add crypto payouts for creators. And this word crypto here, well, no, not really. YouTube will now let U.S. creators receive payouts in PayPal's PYUSD stablecoin. Stablecoin. The platform is officially integrating crypto payment options, a major step for mainstream adoption. No, it's a crypto. It's stablecoins. As I've been saying, that's the direction everything's going. The U.S. government is going to support stablecoins because they're backed by the U.S. dollar. They don't want you transacting in Bitcoin or Dogecoin. They're going to do stablecoins. Again, been saying this for a while. People are finally starting to get it. The whole Genius Act, right? It was all about stablecoins. That's what it's about. I got this email this morning, which is kind of interesting, from CoinMarketCap Spotlight. The math isn't mathing in crypto right now. Fear sits at 29, down a point. But traders can't decide if they're scared or just cautious. Their derivatives activity is exploding. Open interest jumped back up 4.5%. Funding rate sparked 15% in a single day for a market stuck in fear mode. There's a lot of speculative betting, and that is the leverage trading that we continue to talk about. The gamblers are still out there trading. So that leads to what? The liquidation mess. Bitcoin longs got wrecked to the tune of $164 million in 24 hours. That's up 63% from yesterday. That's just in the last 24 hours, and that's just Bitcoin longs. Of course, there's ETH and others, right, that just continue to get wrecked. So, social sentiment, dead neutral. Half the crypto crowd is hyped about Solana's institutional moves. The other half is spiraling over exchange security drama. CBDC paranoia, not really CBDCs. I don't see that right now, but it is stablecoins. But what's happening beneath all the noise? Well, that's obvious, right? It is the manipulation of the crypto market that continues as the exchanges and market makers continue to take out that leverage. They are still in control. The Fed, meanwhile, quietly kicked off soft QE, right? Most people haven't connected all the dots yet, but that's what Powell said earlier this week, that is going to happen, and it is happening, right? The Fed, $40 billion in T-bills, right, that they're buying, that starts it. So that is QE. Now, the interesting thing, and I won't go all into detail of all of this, because, does it bring a lot of liquidity in? Yeah. So metals are ripping. Silver hit a new record. Gold futures are back up. Almost a new record. But Bitcoin hasn't caught the same wave. It's down 19% in Q4. Gold and silver keep printing highs. Stock market keeps printing highs. And look at this chart. This is interesting. The S&P 500 between 2013 and 2022 hit new highs like every year, right? Every year, new highs, new highs. But then we had the stock market actually traded sideways through kind of most of the rest of 2022. That was bear market for crypto. 2023, Bitcoin started recovering back up, right? Bitcoin, and 2024 eventually hit a new all-time high, but not 2023. That was recovery. Same with the stock market. But 2024, S&P, 57 new all-time highs, and in 2025 there have been 37. Not quite the same as like 2017 where there were 62, 2021 where there were 70 new all-time highs. Those were the bull markets. But 2025 didn't happen. And why? Well, that was tariffs, right? The fear of tariffs, stock market decline, just like crypto. And since then, crypto hasn't really recovered. Now, Bitcoin did hit a new all-time high in October until we had that October 10th flash crash, right? It wiped out all that liquidity, all of that leverage. And now traders are trying to get it all back, revenge trading with all of this leverage. And the market makers and the exchanges aren't letting that happen. So here's the global M2 money supply, right? It keeps going up, but look at what happened to Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin has been going down since early October. So that's the fear in crypto right now. And the money is going into the stock market, right? And the money's going into gold and silver. It's not going into crypto right now. So we have that pullback. Altcoin Sherpa says on Bitcoin, I don't see any clear move today so far. Still just chopping within a range. No real trend that I can see. Probably a good day to just touch grass. Break 94K and then we could talk, I guess, but we're just chopping around. Nick says, look, ever since 1010, right? Again, we're talking about October 10th, the big flash crash. Bitcoin's market structure reads like the ECG of a hamster that just discovered Red Bull and leverage trading. Seriously, look at this. And here's another view of the Bart Simpsons, right? So that's what we get. We get a little run, we Bart Simpson around, and then come back down. And here's another one, right? Bart Simpson around, and then back down. Here's a littler one, right? Get a little run, Bart Simpson around, and it looks like another one is forming here. It's the Bart Simpsons, guys. It's the Bart Simpsons. Meanwhile, with Dogecoin might reach its bottom with a bullish 3-drive pattern. And typically we would see that with a real clear channel down. And right now, that's really not happening. Right now, Dogecoin's really more going sideways than down. We didn't come all the way down to 13 cents that we would expect with this number 3. Instead, we're going sideways and actually up a little bit because we're in the 14. So we never really hit that Alan was talking about. Alan also has this Doge market structure here, which is kind of interesting. And what we have seen since October 10th, now we did have the big wick here that he doesn't show on his chart, right? The giant wick down to 9.5. But since October 10th, it's been weak market, very weak market, lower lows, lower lows. So now, are we starting to recover? Are we recovering here? The lowest low outside of the big wick was at 13.5 cents, 13.6, and we're starting to see a little bit of recovery. Now, this is a very small sample size, and we'll see how it is going forward, but are we starting to build back into a strong market? Interesting. But what's happening with Elon Musk's X. Now, I did a whole video on Saturday where I went into detail about X money, so check that video out. The overview here, Elon Musk's X, formerly known as Twitter, is rolling out X money, an integrated financial service to transform the platform into an everything app. So this is, if you know anything about WeChat, China's WeChat, where you can do everything, social media, news, and also on WeChat, you can actually do voice calls and video calls. I think that's coming on X as well. The new X chat is going to incorporate that. But this is for payments, digital wallets, person-to-person transfers, even creator monetization. And X has partnered with Visa for the instant funding, aiming to compete with PayPal, Venmo, by allowing users to send, receive, and store funds directly within the app, a move tying back to Musk's early fintech roots, X.com, which eventually became PayPal. So Elon knows about the whole money thing, right? And he wants, I think he actually uses WeChat when he goes to China and Shanghai. That's how they all communicate over there. So that's coming. But when, right? When is it coming? Well, we had, the beta testing going on back in September. Well, now, yesterday or day before, Nimauji had said the bio of X Money account says launching in 2025. So technically only 3 weeks left, right? So launching in 2025. And Elon responded, it has been launched internally. Nima says, cool. And Doge Tipping is like, when publicly then? And people are waiting for it. Kind of disappointing, to be honest. And he's right. And what about Doge? Is Doge going to be integrated? I don't think there's going to be Dogecoin. But even this morning, X Money still says, and I show this every live stream, launching in 2025. Well, Elon says it has been launched internally. Does that satisfy launching in 2025? And he says launched internally, so it's launched, right, according to Elon. But the public doesn't see it yet. We know there's some beta testers out there. They're working most likely under NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, right? And so they can't post any of the stuff that they see. That's my guess. That's typically how these things work. So is it going to be 2025 or next year sometime? That we don't know. And what about crypto? Again, everything is going more toward stable coins, unfortunately. Creator payouts, just like on YouTube, maybe on X, you get a stable coin option, right? Digital assets, right? Alternative assets. Not Bitcoin, not Dogecoin. Now, could Elon incorporate Dogecoin in the future somehow? Because he likes Dogecoin, right? He talks about it, or he used to a lot. He hints about it now. The most entertaining outcome, right? Probably the most likely. Wouldn't surprise me if Elon had a little something in there, or he's going to try. So we'll see how all of that works out. But it looks like it's getting closer. Meanwhile, stock market keeps going up. Gold and silver keep going up. And crypto is stagnant right now. Crypto's stagnant. What's going to get out of fear and market sentiment and get back to greed? It's going to take some big boost. If X Money launches, again, that is the big green arrow here that I have on my chart. That's the big green arrow. And would we see that kind of move for Dogecoin on the launch of X Money, right? That's what it would be. Otherwise, I was predicting like a relief rally up to maybe 20 cents, get through a red box, get back into the purple box. A relief rally is normally what we would see like the beginning of a bear market, right? We'd be all bearish, right? We'd have this big like drawdown, and then we would recover, relief rally for a bit before going into full bear in 2026. That's what we would normally see with the true 4-year cycles. This could always change it, though, and that could be the game changer. And Doge could lead that, just like it did back in 2021. So that's still out there. That's still a thing. So we'll be watching that. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about X Money, Elon, Doge, Bitcoin, stablecoins? What's on your mind? Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.